Hello, everyone. This is Women Talk Construction, and I'm Angela Gardner, one of your co hosts, and I'm here with my co host, Christy Powell.
Hey.
Hey, Christy. And so today we are going to be talking about something that is near and dear. Well, almost everything is, but this really is near and dear to our hearts, right, Christy?
Yes.
Because we've been hearing about this for so many years now, and Christy's even created a nonprofit around it. And it's something that probably we've struggled with at times. And it's confidence, self-esteem. And how do you do that? How do you find ways to build confidence? So that's what we're going to talk about today, but we want to get started with some stats that we looked up online. And what we're going to do is talk about that a little bit, the stats, share our stories. And then, by the way, we will also have resources. If you follow this link to our website, and you will find resources for other ways to help build confidence if
Yes.
you're searching for that. So, I'm going to get us started with a few stats, and Christy and I are going to kind of share what we've been researching. But the first is self-esteem, which that's huge. Um, but according to a 2021 study, 79% of women struggle with self esteem. A 2023 study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that 80% of women experience low self esteem in the workplace, um, which can hinder their career advancement. Yes, it can. I
Yes, it
mean,
can.
it can, of course, it can do a lot more than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you feel bad about yourself, you know, especially nowadays when you're trying to make ends meet because the prices are rising and,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And
but
if you're down, it's really hard for
yeah,
you to promote yourself, right?
yes, yeah, it really is. Why don't we share some ways that we've dealt with it? Like, I know for me, it's surrounding myself with people that care about me and, that boost my
Yeah.
confidence that I can share with, and they can give me authentic feedback
Right.
to help me
I th-
grow. What do you think?
yeah. I think that the same, right? Like I really felt like I was on an island all by myself, but when I met you and Rachel and Women Construction Forum, just having those women in my life that were cheering me on. They saw what I was doing. It
Yeah.
mattered to them. They cared about me. They thought it was great and they expressed that, right?
Yeah.
Where you don't hear that very often. So it's really important to find your people
Yeah.
because when you find your people, they are going to lift you up and they are going to make you feel like you're invincible. So you can go from having no self esteem to so much that I honestly believe that catapulted me into a place where I created things that I would have never had the confidence to create without having those female voices going, go for it. This is great,
Go for
which
it.
was you. Yes,
Wow.
you definitely
There were
were
a
the
lot of
first
people
one.
around you.
Yeah, there were. But yeah, I think that's huge. Like just finding your people. And, you might have to try 20 different groups. You might
Yes.
have to
Yeah.
look for years, but keep looking because you will find it. I was 50. Okay, I don't want to tell my age, but you all know how old I am. I was probably 54 when I met Angela and Rachel. And honestly, I had not had any good girlfriends, um, that have
That's what
been
you say.
in my workplace
Okay.
for my
Yeah.
whole life, right? Like that just understood what I do for a living
Yeah.
and didn't look at me like I had two heads because why are you in construction and that's weird and why do you want to talk about it? Because I was passionate about it. I liked it.
Oh,
So when
yeah.
I was around other women that also were passionate about their industry and loved construction, it really does make a difference finding your people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think mine was a little bit different, but, I struggled with having my father figure as the lead, and then I had to be in the shadow of that and be
Mm-hmm.
a family member that got into the business. I had to always, earn my way to
Mm-hmm.
whatever it was I was doing. And, that can be somewhat of a confidence, buster.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but you find ways to work
Mm-hmm.
through that, resources. And it's
Well, I
so
think
cool that we
we're
both have different experiences with it,
yeah.
though.
but we're both still in roles, right? That we
Yeah.
could have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
But because we find outlets that help our esteem get built, that's the difference. Right? We don't want to leave our industry even though it doesn't feed us there. Well, you find some other avenue to get fed in the self-esteem role. And it doesn't matter who you are. You have to find your people, right? You have to find
Mm-hmm.
your friends. You have to find people that are in your corner. And in the construction industry, just finding a construction women's group is probably the best thing that you can do, even if it's only there for you to be lifted up, right? You may
Yes.
not learn a lot, but you may learn a lot. Like there's so many organizations out there now, they're popping up all over the place, but find the one that fits you the best.
Yeah, there's so many out there. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, that's totally, or even working, I can say that at Hill Electric, I feel that way. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they boost my confidence, or they
Oh,
are
that's
always
awesome.
looking for ways to help me in whatever I need. And
Yes.
that's that's a
That's
big deal
huge.
nowadays, because there's a lot of companies that don't do that. And
Well, that's what I was going to say. All those women, a lot of the women that we talk to outside of our own roles in our companies, they are not expressing the same thing that you
yeah,
just
yeah.
expressed that you feel at Hill Electric. So, yeah, it's really important if you can't get it in your workplace that you do find people outside of your workplace. And honestly, we can't do anything without friends.
Oh, I know. I mean, I think you should have lots of different groups. I
Mm-hmm.
do.
Agree.
I
Agree.
do.
Yeah, somebody said the other day, they have a personal board of directors, and they
Yes,
all fit a certain place, right? They have a friend that's an attorney.
I've heard
They have a
that.
friend that's the marriage counselor. They have a
Yeah.
friend, all the things. So I think that's cool.
Oh,
So let's
yeah.
talk a little bit about confidence levels. So according
Yes.
to 2021 report, Allison Shamir Coaching said that only 3.4% of women globally rated their confidence as 9 to 10.
Mm.
In a poll,
Wow, that's
in a scale from 1 to
yeah.
10, it was 9 to
Yeah.
10, 3.4%, while 4.7% rated it as 3 to 4 on a
Mm.
scale of 1 to 10, and 24.4% rated it as 6 to 6.9. So there's a lot of lack there,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
So I'm thinking the differences in percentages that weren't added here are all under 6.
Yes, I think
And
so.
that's a lot. I mean, you
Or
had
maybe even
3.4,
under
4
the
point.
3 to 4, maybe 1 to 2,
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
yeah. Right. Right.
Right? I
So over
mean,
50% of the people that reported, the women were labeling themselves as confidence at a confidence level of 1 to 2 in a scale of 1 to 10. So that's
yeah.
that was pretty eye opening when we started doing some research, wasn't it, Angela? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we know that because we do work with building
We see it and
confidence
hear
in the
it, right?
nonprofit, and we're in the
Everywhere.
industry. Yeah. And then we're seeing it in the students, and we're
Yes.
wanting to make a big difference in students. And just knowing they have other women in their corner makes a huge difference. You don't always have to do anything for them. They just need to know that you're there, you're smiling at them, and you're like, go for it. You're doing a great job. So I
Oh,
love that.
yeah.
And that leads to our next topic, which we wanted to talk about is confidence in girls, Angela.
Yeah, that's eh, this one's a little bit sad, which is what we're trying to help with, right? With all of our
Mm-hmm.
initiatives, and
Yeah,
we'd really want to get our podcast into schools.
we do.
We
For
hope that
those that
more
are
will pick it
listening.
up. School systems, yes. All ages, because they're all G rated. All G
Mm-hmm.
rated. But according to Girls Index, confidence levels have decreased across almost every grade level between 2017 and 2023. For example, 68% of fifth grade girls describe themselves as confident in 2023, down from 86% in 2017. And the self
Mm.
confidence dropped to 50% in ninth grade, down from 60% in 2017. We'll probably put some of these stats somewhere, so because it's hard to hear them. But they aren't wonderful stats. I mean, this should not
No,
be happening to our little
it should
girls
be
who,
getting better and not
yes,
worse, right?
right, right.
We probably can't have COVID to thank for that a little bit, right? And social media exposure. We see all the pretty
Oh,
things in people's
yes,
lives, and we don't know that
yes.
they have not so pretty things back there in the
No, you
closet.
don't know the full picture or the full
Mm-hmm.
story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, I can say this that as a part of my story growing up was when I really, it wasn't until I got much older that I understood how to build my own self confidence,
Mm-hmm.
how to do that,
Yeah.
how to help myself, self care. But I mean, as a young female, in elementary and high school, we moved from one place to another when I was moving into elementary, and it was very hard because you don't make any friends very
Yeah.
much. And I was never the popular girl. And I
I
also
can't
went to,
believe that.
no, I wasn't at all. I was very much not. And my mom made my clothes, actually. I don't think you ever
Aw.
knew that, but yeah, because my mom was a nurse and
Yeah.
had just graduated Clemson, and my dad was an architect, just graduated Clemson. So they were living on a very finite,
Mm-hmm.
and I have two siblings. And so mom would make a lot of my clothes, and that wasn't always, that I wasn't wearing the popular Sea-Bot, all the stuff that Izides, and which some
Yeah.
people will remember some of these
Eyes
things,
on.
or
Yeah.
Sebagos, the
Yeah.
shoes, and um, so and that can really, and then of
Impact.
course for us it was the magazines, like
Mm-hmm.
Teen Magazine,
Yeah.
and all those
All
that you
those
would
girls looked
see.
perfect and they were all
Exactly.
skinny.
Yes, and nobody talks to you and tells you, oh, what really happens and what
That's not real
goes.
life.
No, it's not. But and and I didn't have a lot of close friends back in high school, so that's probably also. But once I got out of high school and got into college and kind of just started making my own way and figuring
Mm-hmm.
it all out on my own, it was so much better.
Good.
I really don't understand that. And then for me, it's all about, like, if I'm gonna have to go make, at a speaking engagement, then I know what I need to do ahead of time to
Mm-hmm.
build my self confidence around that.
Yeah.
It's practice. It's know my material. It's know
Right.
the audience. And so those are the ways that I build my confidence around, something like that. Because believe me, I go in there nervous.
Yes. I still do. And I'm a
Butterflies.
winger. I'm a wing it kind of girl.
Yes,
I
you
have been a
are.
lot
I'm
better.
not.
I've been a lot better about studying my content too, just because
But you're
sometimes
so
you're just not, you're
good.
having an off day. You're so sweet.
Well,
Sometimes you're having an off day, right?
yeah.
And me not being prepared and not studying like what you do was not good, because I did find myself in a couple of situations where, I just wasn't feeling that great. So my mind wasn't clear. In those days, I need to be prepared. I need to be
Hmm.
prepared with the correct, verbiage of what I want to say when I'm on the stage. So I learned that the hard way, walking off going, oh gosh, that was terrible, but I
So
wasn't
you know
feeling
that
good.
now about yourself? You know
Yeah.
when to know that?
Yep. Yeah.
How cool is that?
It is cool. It is cool. I mean, I know it
Yeah.
well enough to know that I need to be prepared no matter what, just because
Yeah.
of that, right? And so
Okay.
you learn, and we all fail. And it's okay that I walked off that stage and thought that was not a great, what I said wasn't great.
Yeah.
But the best part is I got to fix it.
You learn from
Yep.
everything that you do,
Yep.
right? I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely. And that's what builds your confidence, right? Is
yes.
instead of thinking it's a defeat, and obviously you beat yourself up
Hmm.
sometimes, but don't let yourself beat yourself up
No.
for longer than 3 minutes is my max. And then after
Mm.
that, I'm like, what did I learn from it? This is
Hmm.
what I'm going to do next time. And I'm just going to move forward, right? There's no sense in
Yes.
reflecting on it. I can't go back and change anything. So anyway, let's talk about confidence in women. So we've got some
Okay.
stats about that. So in 2019, a survey found that American women are more confident today. Where did that go? Than they were, than they are. Let's see. I kind of missed that one.
But it might be the
Oh, here we go.
second.
Here we go.
Yeah.
However, in 2019, survey found that American women are more confident today than they were before they turned 35. And 67% of women are looking for ways to become more confident, which we know, right?
Yes.
And believe it or
Yes.
not, there are men out there doing the same. We've
Yes.
had them tell us that.
Mm-hmm.
In 2023, New York Post article also states that 61% of women surveyed have a positive view of aging, and that women are rewriting the narrative of aging by embracing it with confidence. And I can truly, truly tell you that is me, because I grew up,
Yeah.
unlike you, I grew up in a home where I felt like I can do anything. My dad was from Greece. They came over here with no money. They literally built an empire. And then my mom grew up in a home where her dad and mom didn't graduate from high school. They couldn't even, all they could do was sign their names.
Yeah.
But my mom was a golf pro at the
Uh-huh.
age of 21. She turned into a golf pro, and she was very successful, very famous in our town. And, obviously my dad and his family made it from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grew up in a home where I saw people do whatever they wanted to do from nothing. So that was, I never felt like I couldn't do anything.
Oh
And
yeah.
so you parents that are out there right now, remember that. Like, if you are living a life of scarcity, that is going to reflect on the confidence of your kids, right? But if you're
Yeah.
living the life of I can do whatever I want to do, and I can take this matter in my own hands and I can make it better, it really is going to make a big impact on your kids. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to throw that out there. But to be honest, like once I moved out, that's when my self-confidence started waning, because other women, I didn't have the right clothes on, like what you
Mm.
said. I
Mm.
wasn't wearing Nikes. I wasn't wearing Jordache. I wasn't wearing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm dating myself, obviously.
I already
But
dated myself.
I literally went to work at 13 so that my parents said that if I wanted
At
Jordache jeans and
13?
Nike, yeah, I was corn detasseling.
Okay.
Um, but I wanted my own money because I wanted to fit in,
Yeah.
and they would only pay for this much money of my blue jeans. So if I made the extra money, I mean, that was really my motivation, to be honest. But I really enjoyed having money. So I never
Oh
quit
yeah.
working after that. I just went from one better job to another better job to another better
It really
job.
is nice.
It is nice
It's
to have
money
your
you
own
can
money.
pave your
But
own
then
path.
again, lost my confidence again, even after that. So I
Yeah,
think
you
sometimes you you really can have your dips, right? You have
different
your
stages,
valleys.
right? It
Yeah,
sounds like.
you have your mountains and valleys. And when you're in a
Yeah.
mountain, don't get discouraged if you
Yeah.
have a valley, because you can't appreciate the mountain if you don't
Oh
have
yeah.
valleys, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It just helps you grow. So throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I mean, yes, for sure. I
Do
mean,
we want to talk about this McKinsey colleague
yes,
too?
let's do.
So
Yeah.
there was another article Angela and I found. I'm gonna let Angela start out with it, but we found another article on McKinsey and Company. One of their colleagues wrote a book
Mhm.
about authentic confidence. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I'm going to read this last paragraph that I
Okay.
think we were going to just share about what Jacqueline, the author of Authentic Confidence, talks about or wraps it up. But she says clearly any business needs to address both individual employee resilience and the broader workplace factors that cause burnout, or risk losing some of their most resilient, adaptable employees. And
Yeah.
so this needs to be addressed. And she's talking about, taming burnout and anxiety at work.
Mm-hmm.
But all of that leads into, this confidence crisis that we're going
Right.
through, right?
Yeah.
And it's not tiny. And like you said, it's not just with women. It's
Mm-mm.
with,
Yeah, it's with
and
everybody.
it's with all age populations. So,
Right. Yeah, one of the paragraphs that I really liked in this article I'd like to share
yeah.
is if leaders and employees learn how to better regulate anxiety and stress,
Mm-hmm.
manage their emotions, and develop the courage to make choices that support their values, they can buffer or moderate difficult workplaces, which they're very, these are the very same employees that are emotionally resilient, confident, and effective who are 60% more likely to leave an unhealthy organization. So if you're an unhealthy organization, you're not going to keep people who are
Nope.
confident enough to do the job and competent enough to do the job.
Exactly. It kind of probably leads into a little bit of a toxic environment too, and people
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be around that because it also helps with the low self-esteem too,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yes.
there's
Yes.
so many
Well,
things that go into it.
what a great conversation though. And even though this probably will be
Yeah.
published after May, it is May today. It is May the 30th when Angela and I are recording. But and it is mental health month, and
Yeah.
self-confidence and all that we're talking about today is really important in our mental health and reducing stress and anxiety in an already stressful and anxiety world that we live in. So
We'd like
thank you
to
for
focus on it all year round, right?
yes, we would. We would. We just get to highlight it over and over and over again in May. Thank you all for
Yes, thank you.
just, you know, touching base with us and listening to us. And hopefully these articles that we're reading and the researches that we were doing is really helping you in your business and where you are in your life. A lot of you are boots on the ground and in the
Mm.
field, and hopefully it's helping you. I know I needed this when I was in the field. So, if you love what we're doing, please like, share, listen, go to our YouTube page. You can actually see us. There's no editing on our YouTube page, so you get to see all the dumb things we do
Oh, yeah.
and, the coughs and the ums and all the things. But we have an excellent
Yeah.
podcast editor who makes our audio sound amazing. And we really appreciate Michael for all that he does. And he's literally given up a good portion of his life to make sure that this
Yeah, he believes in
podcast.
this, right? Our mission
Yes,
very
yes,
much, and we are so appreciative of that.
yes,
We couldn't do it
yes.
without him.
We can't, but we need your likes, your
Yes,
shares,
we
your
do.
comments, and your reviews on podcasts so that, we can get more downloads and it can help get us some support. But thank you for listening to us. If you have something you want us to talk about, please let us know. Now Buzzsprout has the ability, if you listen to our podcast, you literally can send us a message from there, which is cool. And it's turned on now. I just learned how to turn it on, Angela. So, anyway,
Yay!
thank you all for listening. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful summer. And we'll talk to you soon.